What are the common mistakes people do when applying for Singapore PR themselves? Is a topic of discussion for this presentation. Now, in 2020, Immigration and Checkpoint Authority of Singapore approved approximately 32,000 PR. While the number of total applications is not disclosed, it is believed that the number will be more than 120,000. So, as you see, roughly 1 in 4 application gets approved, and the chances of rejection are high. Now, people are still thinking in the era of prior to 2010 when it was much easier to get PR. And I have seen many times they don't take this PR application process with enough seriousness. So, in this presentation, I will explain to you what common mistakes we see in our business in PR application. So, the first category is of document errors. Now, when you apply for PR, you have to attach various documents. You have to attach the copies of various documents. And these documents are used for government agencies for legal purpose. So they are used to establish your identity, they are used to establish your date of birth, and so many things. Obviously, then these documents must be accurate. ICA has high standards about the accuracy of these documents. And one more point that I noticed is that when EPR system was introduced, it effectively cut the direct interaction between the immigration officer and the applicant. So you don't have any opportunity really to understand if there are any errors in these documents. Sadly, errors in these documents are quite common, and I generally estimate that one application in 3 or 4 will have some kind of errors in the documents. So what are these document errors? Let's take 2 examples. So the first example here is of a birth certificate without child's name. In your PR application, you have to attach birth certificate. In India, it is a practice that the name of the child is fixed and declared on the 12th day after the birth. Now what happens, many a times hospitals issue a birth certificate without mentioning the child's name. So the birth certificate mentions only the parent name and possibly some other details like address, but the child's name is left blank. For you, this birth certificate is perfectly okay to be used in India because in India, everybody knows about this practice. But if such a certificate, if you present to ICA, ICA has no way to know whose birth certificate is this. So there is a process to get that birth certificate validated, and if you have not done that, most likely your application will get rejected. Here I give you another example. The name in the passport is Mitchell Duffman and name in the educational certificate is Mitchell Duffman. Now if you observe it carefully, one N is missing in Duffman. Now ICA doesn't know whether it is the same person being referred in the passport and the educational certificate or these are 2 different people. So many types of document errors are possible and you should take steps to ensure that you are not having any errors in the document that you submit. Moving on to the next point, no social contribution. Now you have stayed many years in Singapore on employment path, but you don't have done any social contribution and that might appear slightly odd to IC. And almost in every case of an employment pass person that I see, I find that the social contribution factor is missing. For this, you can do some donations and some charity work free of cost in many of the organizations in Singapore. You do not have to spend significant amount of time, but at least some time you spend and do this contribution is better for you. This factor is taken into consideration in your application. It might not make significant difference, but even if it makes a difference of 2 or 3 points, why leave that out of the equation? The next point is about applying too early for PR. So I have seen cases where people have applied for PR within 6-7 months after coming into Singapore. Their view is that after all it doesn't cost much, so I will go ahead and apply. But the question is, if the rejection is more or less guaranteed, why do you want to apply? See, ICA does not penalize you in your second or third attempt because you have already applied. However, you may end up creating an impression that you are not thinking sincerely and properly and just applying randomly just because you are here in Singapore. My general advice is for Indians is to apply after 2 or 3 years of stay, and for any others, you should at least have minimum 1 year of stay in Singapore before you proceed for applying your PR. The next point is about submitting minimum required documents only. As you know, ICA requires minimum documents. Basically, it includes passport copy, your employment pass, dependent pass copy. That also, I think, is not required anymore now because they already have the record. Birth certificate, educational certificates, and marriage certificate. But that doesn't mean that you cannot include any additional documents. If you have any additional documents, you should include those in your application. These can include awards, your previous achievements, academic excellence certificates. Maybe you have been educated in one of the topmost universities in your country, so that you can add. So you will have to go through your profile and identify what other things you have achieved in your life, and those needs to be properly pointed out in your application. Moving on to the next point is submitting too many documents. So this is exactly opposite of what I have said just now. So people nowadays do a lot of research on internet and then they think that attaching all their awards and achievement is a good thing. Now that is a good thing provided you attach only relevant and significant documents only. ICA is not interested in knowing your awards in your primary school dance competition. I had a case of a person who included 32 certificates right from his secondary school onwards or something like that. Now, this kind of approach don't take. Don't submit too many documents. Normally, you should not submit more than 4 or 5 additional documents. If you are in doubt whether to include a specific certificate, award, or achievement or not, then go by the test of relevancy. If only 10% of the general population is likely to have it, 10% or less, then only include it. If more than this percentage of people in general population is likely to have similar certificate, don't include it. You do not want to spam your application with some irrelevant documents and make the life of IC officers complicated. The next point is not including cover letter. Now this is an interesting topic. Cover letter concept has materialized in last 6 or 7 years. It came with many of the consultancy firms like ours. And basically what cover letter does, it is a kind of your profile but made for promotional purpose. Now you need to be careful while drafting this cover letter because IC officers have limited time. They are not going to read the complete stories about your life. Therefore, it should be well drafted and should show all strengths and what value you can bring to Singapore in a matter of fact kind of tone. Don't try to make it a hard selling letter or something like a sales pitch. The next mistake many people do is relying on friends or online research. So, what happens is if you are applying for the PR for the first time, or if your PR is rejected and you are now trying for the subsequent time, people will invariably reach out to various forums. Then they will have some hearsay stories. They will reach to their friends who have been successful, and based on that, they will try to devise a strategy. Now, this may not be the correct approach because each person's case is different. Why your friend got permanent residency might be different from your case. So don't try to make it generalized. Instead, the recommended way is to avail expert advice. The next point is that no action is taken post submission. So people will submit their PR application and after that they won't take any action subsequently. They will just wait and see. Now, there are rules and regulations regarding that. If you get promotion, your salary rises, or your job changes, then you must notify ICA so that they can reconsider the application in the light of new information. The salary rise, especially if it is significant, you must notify to ICA immediately. There can be other errors which I have seen in many cases. For example, the scans taken are of poor quality and the scan has shadow and cannot be read properly. People sometimes take the scans using their mobile phone just like a photograph and then they will try to submit it. Now that's a bit of a too much approach. I mean, you can use a proper machine, the scanning machine, either in your office or at home, and take a proper scan. Even if you are taking it from mobile phone, not a problem, but at least use a proper app and use the proper lighting to take that photograph. There can be errors in translation document. This also I have seen happening. The document is translated, but the translation document has errors which are not matching with the original document. Sometimes original documents itself are not available. A copy of original document is available, and from that copy, which is a printed copy in black and white, a new scan is taken. Now, obviously, ICA will not accept these kind of documents. Sometimes on the document, stamps and signs are damaged. So you might have a university certificate, but it was in some file which was not stored properly for last 20 years. And because of that, the part where the seal or the sign of the chancellor is there, that part is damaged. So as you can see, there are many errors possible when it comes to your Singapore PR application. It is best, therefore, that you use a consultant to manage this process for you. For example, if you are engaging PR application, that is our company, we will not only take care of all these errors. If anything is problem, we will recommend you the alternative ways. We will also advise you how to strengthen your profile and we will help you to submit your application.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel today. PR Application is a leading immigration consultancy company in Singapore.